Do a little mic check-a-rooney. I think we're coming in clear, chat. Pizza rolls or bagel bites? That's a tough one. I think it depends if they're homemade. If they're homemade, it's whatever's homemade. I've had some good pizza rolls. I'd probably go with pizza rolls. Probably. Bliss, believe it or not, I'm not Jewish. I know that's hard to believe. A lot of people assume the last name with the face. Just very, very Polish. Very, very Polish. Loud and waiting to get. If you want me to look at anything, coin wise, equity wise, or otherwise, let me know. Yeah, homemade. Believe it or not, homemade. It's possible. Why am I echoing like crazy? I feel like. All right. It is Friday at 2 p.m. I've been gone. I was in New York last week. What's up, everybody? We are cooking here on the BTC. We are rolling. Absolutely rolling. I have a few charts we'll take a look, and then we'll go from there. I am homemade. That's right, Karen. Take a look at the clouds. I mean, kielbasa, that's goated, right? Pierogies and kielbasa. You can't talk to me about food when I'm hungry, because then that's all I'm going to be thinking about this whole time. So, I think the biggest thing people have been going back and forth about is cycle this, cycle that, whatever, right? That's understandable. If you compare current duration to previous, we're getting close to what we've seen as the top. I don't think you can say the cycles are shorter or longer until we see how this one plays out. We may not have cycles anymore. I don't know. But for me, the assumption is we're going to see what we saw before, which is maybe the end of things, Q4 into Q1 this year into next, and then we'll see, right? There's reasons why we would keep going. Rates lower, stimmies. Sure, it's possible. It's absolutely possible. There's some things to look for price-wise. There's some things to look for correlation-wise. What I love here currently is we have all the bears, all the macro bears, still beating the same drum that they've been beating since 2022 or earlier. Everybody says, they have this conversation about liquidity and meme stocks. Like crypto's always tacked onto that. It's like, oh, this is just what happens in crypto sometimes, right? This isn't like because we're printing so much money globally and it has to go somewhere and it shuffles around between equities and gold and other stuff, right? The McRib is back. The McRib is back. I've never had a McRib. I don't even know what they would taste like, but they are back. I'm from near Detroit, not currently in Michigan though. So if we look at price and cycle low, this isn't anything new. Obviously, a lot of people are talking about this, but it's important to realize we're over 1,000 days in since FTX blew up here. It's just a data point. Do with it what you may, right? But my expectation is we get a move here in Q4. That's probably going to be close to the top for a while. Typically, it takes 1,000 days to bottom after we establish a top. So the next part of this is having the discipline to sell what you want to sell when you want to sell it and to just let it be. That's going to be tough for a lot of people. So maybe that's wrong, but we'll find out, right? It's not like it should be pretty obvious either way. We do have a little room for higher relative to other cycles. I'll take a look at a few different charts for this, but 150 to 300 I think is a reasonable range. And we'll see, right? We'll see. We're just breaking out. We're just establishing another all-time high. Gold is slowing down. That really helps us. Some of this quantum stuff is taking off. You know, it's just a bunch of money moving around. We've got DATs, we've got alts, which is what most people care about. Unfortunately, probably going to do the worst just generally, but we'll take a look at that. So I think it's just important to say, okay, like if I want to have a big trade or whatever the rest of the year, like there's not a lot of time left for that. And not to undersize positions necessarily, expecting like you're going to have a ton more opportunities within the next 12 to 24 months. If we want to look objectively at how overbought or oversold we may be, MVRV is a good way to do that. This is market cap against realized cap. That's an aggregate price of coins that have moved on chain. It's at 2. We top out at 6 to 8. ETFs may change this a little bit, but they still hit the chain. So have we seen a lot of people sell? Absolutely. You know, we can look at the, where is it? Hodl waves, where are those at? Somewhere. They've added so much stuff here. Let me just type it in. We can look at hodl waves, realized cap hodl waves. There's clearly people who've been selling. Clearly, right? But if we look at the percentage of the network that has moved in the past 3 to 6 months, if we just get rid of some of this and just go like that, just to make it clearer, typically we see a ton of churn on the network, old coins moving at the top, close to the top. We're close, but we're not quite there. We're close. This is similar to MVRV, but just another thing to watch. ETFs clearly playing a role here on unlocking a bunch of this, but does this look toppy? No, it does not. 2-year moving average multiplier, this gives you an exact potential level, 380. This did briefly touch the level at 56 in the last all-time high. So 380, that's up there. Here's how it looks zoomed out. Will we overshoot? Will we undershoot? I don't know. Like, these are just things to consider along the way. It's not like it's going to give you a perfect to the penny level. It's just, what is the risk reward here versus tomorrow versus a week from now versus November? If we're closer to 380 in November, the risk reward goes down, right? This is more so, especially for people today who keep asking me, like, what do I do? What do I do? Do I buy options? Do I buy leverage? Like, that is an individual decision. I can't answer that for you. You have to make that decision, whether or not you buy alts or DATs or whatever. That has to be on you. The power law also, again, you're getting levels way, way up here. If I zoom in correctly, like, we're not even close to the top, right? So if you look at all of these collectively, it gives you a rough estimate. I like 250. I think I'm going to start selling cold storage up there at 250. Still feels like I'm echoing. What is echoing? I don't know. I like 250 plus. That's fine for me. Here's another estimate of levels from APSK. He does great work. His levels again, 150, 200. 250 would roughly be the equivalent of 2017. So yeah, if we see crazy stuff like that, I think it's okay to take a little off, at least for me personally. That's a personal decision. But having this discussion with yourself now, in case this does happen, I think is pretty important. And if you think we're going up there, you have to answer the sizing question for yourself too. Like, okay, like, am I sized appropriately if I think this is the start of something significant. Plan C also has a quantile model. If we go to December 25, again, he's getting like 200 to 300 as roughly the zone. So if we get up there, like how much more do you want, you know? That is quite a bit. That is quite a bit. I don't think we're going to hit 1 million this cycle. I think that's going to take some time. But 250 from here would be my like cycle top target. Pi cycle top, because I know 3 people like this thing. I don't even know if this is going to cross this cycle. So it's the 111 and the 350 times 2. If we zoom way out, this thing was backtested on the previous 3, and then it did catch this post backtest. So we're not even close to that crossing. The 200 week moving up, this measures the speed at which it's increasing, and it's cold. It's ice cold. So it may feel like Bitcoin's expensive, but looking at the relative pricing, it isn't. Hold on, I have to fix this echo. 1 second. All right, that was it. It was on my headphones. So if we look at last high or last all-time highs, you know, we were red hot on the 200 week. We are not this time around. And I think for most people, this is the singular chart of the stream, of the quarter, of the next 12 to 24 months. This is all they give a shit about is altcoin performance. That's fine. But again, this is a personal decision. I can't tell you, hey, here's 50 coins. They look like they've bottomed. Throw some money at this. Hope it does well. Maybe 10 of them work out. Maybe none of them work out. I don't know. But looking at this chart, its average altcoin price equally weighted, top to 150. That's an inverted head and shoulders. That's a massive alligator jaws for alts relative to BTC. This is a bit of a chart crime because it does use 2 different axes, but whatever. The point is alts have vastly underperformed post ETFs for BTC. Will ETFs for alts pull this up? Possibly. Possibly. We'll see. We'll see. But this is really what people care about. That's it, you know, on balance. For me, and the few people that care about BTC, I'm not saying there's a right or wrong here. It's just this is where people's heads are at. It's like, okay, we haven't had alt season for 6 years. When's the next one? I want to turn $1 into 100,000, right? So if you're of that mindset, now's the time to start shopping around. Maybe you trade BTC a little bit here to 150, then you rotate into some alts that look like they've bottomed and are breaking out. I would not buy stuff that is continuously making lows. There's so much of this market that is working right now. Like it's hard not to lose. It's hard to lose money right now. So if you're focused on something that isn't moving, like why, right? There's literally like 10,000 things you could be doing with your money instead of focusing on something that's making lower lows right now. So any alt chart that looks remotely like this, we'll take a look at a bunch of them. Sure, right? Why not? Who knows? Who knows? It's a bit of a gamble, but if there was ever a time for alts to actually do anything, it would be after the BTC move, after the high caps move, and then we get our alt season, like air quotes, right, in Q4 into Q1. That's why I like BTC moving first, alts to follow. But that's as far as I take it. I don't care about hype. I don't care about what's the other one? People have been pump, whatever. Like, I don't care about any individual name. It's like as a group, as a part of your portfolio, as a percentage of what you're throwing your money at. This is the chart that I would want to throw money at. That's it. That's it. I'll catch up with chat in a second. If we zoom in on BTC, 3-day pitchfork, near term, this is where I think roughly the range of BTC where it could go. And then I think that's where alts start to do better. I think this could take all of October for BTC to get potentially to 150. That's like conservative, 140, 150, something like that. That's when I think it makes more sense to take profit partially on any trading positions on BTC and rotate into alts that haven't moved. Because then the alligator jaws are going to look even crazier for stuff that hasn't moved. Now, some of this stuff is going to start to move a little early. So that's why I like alerts. You know, Aptos, we can take a look. That's one that's moving. Wormhole, right? Like, why those coins? No clue. No clue. You could tell me any reason fundamentally. I sure, right? Like, whatever. The point is they are all ready to go. The train is at the station. The table is set. They've done nothing year to date. And on a relative basis, somebody throws enough money at it and the market follows. Fine, right? That's all there is. That's it. So that's the target for BTC here. It's just basically a pitchfork extension that we've seen in 24 and 25 near term. This is the AI cloud, 15, 37, 40, 18. It was backtested pre-election to 2022. We're good. You know, this is just a spot check for me outside of normal channels. This has done very, very, very well. It's done stupid well. It's been noisy. It's been choppy. But if you have this on your side, good sign. Now here's the cloud that I care more about. 2061, 2030. Bullish TK cross price above cloud. The single most bullish possible indicator in the cloud system is yesterday, today, the day before. So what you do with that information is up to you. That is up to you. People are going to come to look at this and say, oh my God, what about BNB? Like, okay, fine. That's on you, bro. That's on you. Or like, what about Curve? Fine. Go for it, right? I don't care. Do it. I hope it outperforms, right? But this is very bullish, extremely bullish. Doesn't get more bullish than this. Very, very good sign. Is this a guarantee that this goes anywhere? No, but this is how moves start. They look like this. They look exactly like this. We also have, of course, the inverted head and shoulders that I got some hate for, you know. We can't see this at the top. This doesn't happen like this. Or, you know, diagonal necklines. We don't like the whatever. Whatever. I don't care, right? What do I care? But it looks real to me. 130, 140, whatever. You know, whatever the measure move is there. Makes sense. We're not going to get there in a day. This has been a very strong move after the government shutdown. What happens when the government comes back up? Are we going to sell off? You know, I don't know. What happens when we get jobs data that's delayed? Are we going to sell off? What does the COT data look like? That's delayed. Sure, all those things are possible inputs, but we obviously look very strong here. And I probably haven't seen enough people talk about the weekly Bollinger Band squeeze. There's been a few people definitely talking about it a lot. This is the tightest the weekly Bollinger Bands have ever been, aka volatility dropping down significantly. And if these continue to expand, as we've seen, you know, you're talking about a significant move, 30%, 60%. That's just what we've seen. Not an exact science, but it doesn't get more bullish than that from an expansion perspective. And we, of course, have gold broke out in a big way. It's slowing down. That's helping BTC here. Gold probably more sensitive to liquidity initially, but BTC will 4, 5, 6, 10x gold is on the move. Very good to see that. And then real quickly on the correlations, it doesn't matter what this is, right? This could be the number of people walking by a mall in Iowa. Okay, right? Like, it doesn't matter. The point here is that Rocket Lab has an extremely high correlation to BTC. So if one or the other starts to look weak, that's important to pay attention to. If one or the other explodes higher, that's important to pay attention to. So these are both looking very strong. Makes sense. ETH has its own correlation, that being IWM, zombie coins, zombie caps. For whatever reason, I don't know. I don't know why. IWM and Russell 2000 and ETH have been highly correlated. It's a very good sign for ETH that IWM is at all-time highs and breaking out. So ETH is lagging, but it should easily continue. And then the last one that's sort of loose but kind of there is MSTR against Solana. You kind of have to adjust the axes a little bit, but this sort of came in and out of being coupled, and it's just going to be interesting if Sol pushes all-time highs, does MSTR finally wake up? I don't like MSTR here, to be clear, but that's something to watch. Is there like a catch-up trade on beta for some reason with MSTR? We'll look at MSTR individually, but anyway. Let's take a look at chat. What do they want here? What do they want? We'll go all the way back to the top here. Talked about pierogies, kielbasa, pierogies. Okay. It tastes like 2X. Thought it was a New Yorker. I've added a trusty dusty list here, so we're going to do this the right way. I'm not handwriting these. SNDK. Yeah, there's been a lot of chatter about the ancillary stuff it's going to take to actually spin up all of the AI. You know, the power conversation has definitely been ever present, but now we're talking about like storage, like data storage. Western Digital, I think that's right. WIFMOG. See, we're getting into the more, this isn't this person's fault, right? I'm not blaming them, but you get to this point where you've been holding, I'm not saying that this is this person, but you've been holding certain coins for so long expecting a move, and it just isn't happening, you know? So what do? Do you just still hold? Personal choice. Do you hold? Do you sell? Do you not care? But like this stuff, what's your expected return? Where do you think this is going to go on a drawdown? And more importantly, on a relative basis, like Circle. Okay, if we pull up Circle, somebody was talking about this on Twitter yesterday. Circle was up, I don't know, 18% or something yesterday. You've got all sorts of junk that is just crazy moves. And then you've got WIF, which is just stuck in this range. So look, it's up to you. How do you want to play this? I don't know. On most charts, even if I don't mention it, there's a lot of this stuff going on, some sort of falling wedge. And if that's ever the case, I always like higher highs. So if I was getting into fresh trades, set an alert at $1 on WIF and have at it. But why are you sitting in a range? If you're sitting in a range, you have to be expecting 2, 3, 4, 5x. You have to be honest with yourself. But if you're underperforming so many things right now, that's what you need to catch up, right? On a relative basis, because the opportunity cost is so high. 1,000 days to bottom after the cycle top. Yes. Sorry, it's 1,000 days to reestablish a new all-time high. The bottom, you're right, is roughly a year after the high, historically. And as people are saying, like, okay, you could be trading WIF, or you could be trading SanDisk. Okay, there's your alt season, right? Like, this thing went from 50 to 130 in a couple weeks. Like that's what you want when you're trading nonsense. Like, not saying the SanDisk is nonsense, but Rivian, I'll get to Rivian. It just is what it is, you know. It's not a lot of good news on Rivian. I like higher highs totally. Mic setup is clear as day. It's probably because I got a little throat thing and I'm like talking a little louder. Hundreds of crypto ETF filings. Yeah, that's the other thing. A lot of filings coming. A lot of flows potentially. We'll see. Here's Nwanda. Here's should we give him, I think we give him a special, here, hold on. We give him a special little section here because it's always good stuff. It's always good stuff. Let's just do this. Let's do this. And honestly, this is more for me than anybody because then I go back after the stream and I like see, okay, like let's open some positions here. B5. It looks like drones. Drones are the theme today, I'm guessing. QMCO. Some quantum. Okay. Some whatever that is. Probably quantum, I don't know. UPXI, that's a DAT. I did sell my uranium this week for BTC. It was up 50%. I figured I'll move to a slightly faster horse. SMTK. Yeah, that's more quantum. Lots of quantum. Lots of pre-revenue quantum. Man, that stuff, you just know that stuff, the quantum stuff is going to zero in a bear market. Like, you just know. You just know. Zcash, yeah, I have that on here. Yeah, the echo, it's because my headphones were on. That's why I was hearing, I thought it was my monitor, but it wasn't. Deep. 333K and me gloating on CNBC. I don't know about that. But we'll take 333K, absolutely. Deep. Sure. Alt OI heading into, you know, I'm not a big OI guy in general. I don't really care. I'm definitely a setup guy. Like, if we look at just the list today, that's probably hard to see, but most of the alt list I have isn't green. So we're certainly not like outperforming BTC broadly right now, right? Which is a good thing. This is what you want. You want multiple setups, multiple trades, multiple things moving. But if I had to pick a chart that looks like it's ready to go, back to the example of the basket, like it looks like this. It looks like it's making fresh highs. It looks like the cloud is flipping green for the first time in 2025, right? Anything that looks like this remotely, love it. It hasn't moved yet. A lot of alts already have moved a little bit in like August, whatever. This has not. This is apt, right? It doesn't matter what it is. That's the important part. It doesn't matter what it is. It helps if it has news. It helps if it has ETFs. It helps if it has DATs. All that's helpful. But this is the style of chart. I would add like wormhole. The style of chart. It is continuously holding above the cloud, trying to make higher highs. Now, if we contrast that with TIA, not anything I like. Not yet. What is it doing? It's still making lows. It's still below the cloud. Really, it's been below the cloud mostly since 2024. It's tried a few times. Maybe this is the time. But if this moves, it's probably going to be November, December. It's probably going to be November, December, is my guess. So, yeah, is there a trade here? Maybe, eventually, but not today. Not today. So if the setup is right, love it. 4-year MA, still not hot yet. Fair enough. There's another one on BTC. What is it, like I forget. Colin talks about it. Is it like the 50-week hitting the previous all-time high or something? 200-week? Maybe it's the 200-week. The 200-week. So when the 200-week hits 70K, that might be the top. I think that's the, yeah. So maybe an alert, worth an alert on that one. Put it all on Farcoin, Dentacoin. Look at the ratio between 111 and 350. Yeah, that's probably worth it. Not something I have readily available, but I could take a look. Cores and some miners. So I like cores here, even though totally missed the Iran boat. Just totally missed it. Mainly because I was just trading other stuff. You can't win them all, right? Like, I know a lot of people have done just like generational wealth with Iran. Beam wormhole. Shoot. Beam. Yeah, wormhole we just looked at, but love it. Love it. I love DCA on that. I love buys here. I love leverage. I love everything. Now don't come at me if it blows up in your face, but look at this chart. Look at this chart. What else do you want? This is it. This is it, folks. This is what you want a chart to look like. It's curling up. It's making highs. It held the lows. What else is there in life? XPL. Yeah, what is XPL? Can somebody give me like a 4-word TLDR on that one? I have no idea. I just see people talking about it. BTC to 250, ETH to 6. I think the ETH target is 7 to 10, right? What's the... My targets are purely TA based. They're not based on anything else. So, you know, if you ever like, what is Josh's level? It's just that. 7 to 11. It's the depth of the 2024 consolidation. Nolly says he likes the content. Thank you. Appreciate it. Lunar cycle. I mean, yeah. It's there. Sensible for BTC without invalidating. The neckline, it's kind of tough now, but I mean, you really want this to consolidate more than, where is it? Seriously? There it is. You want this to consolidate more than pull back heavily, but 118 would be 117, like max. It's sort of the neckline. It's probably sort of the cloud too. I guess the cloud's lower than that, but you really don't want this below 118 at this point. You certainly don't want it back in the range, chopping around. I'd be very happy with a consolidation, 120, 123, something like that. Keep the government shut indefinitely. Sure. Nawanda, huge dono. Thanks for helping me win. That's all you gotta do. You just gotta tell the people that give you alpha that they're amazing, and then they throw money back at you. Thanks, man. Yeah, Iran is just insane. Dino coins moving. I think that's just a relative basis. You know, relative value compared to everything else. That's it. You know, like why Zcash? As long as you're listed, the worst thing for an alt is to get unlisted, because then nobody can trade, right? But this thing did nothing for years, and then all of a sudden people are like, "Oh man, privacy coins." Let me tell you something. If Zeke is listed on a U.S. exchange, it probably has really crap privacy. XMR is a good example. XMR is listed basically nowhere because it works, and it violates a bunch of KYC AML stuff. So, you know, Zcash probably doesn't have great privacy functionality because it's everywhere. It's listed everywhere, including Coinbase. So take that for what you will. But yeah, like, why is this moving? Relative value. right? Like, what does the Zeke BTC chart look like? Probably just straight to infinity of zero. Yeah, right? Like, you need some sort of consolidation for this stuff to work. It's not just going to like V-bottom on you most of the time, probably. But the last time it tried to do this was back here, and it just didn't. Just didn't do anything, right? It just kept going. So the USD chart, not really the chart you should be looking at, but I know nobody wants to hear that. The BTC chart, since 2017, we won't even use like the listing price. Since 2017, it's still down 99%. Okay, so like, who cares? I don't. I don't. Yeah, Netflix, I mean, LTC is another one. Where's a good chart for this? Bitstamp, maybe? Against BTC, it's kind of been a down-only party. This could be bottoming, right? Like, if you want to look for Dino coins that are bottoming, this is one of them. At least it's trying to. Let me add. What is it? 3350. We will add Netflix. Yeah, Netflix rolling over. Is that because Elon told everybody to cancel their subscription? BCI, is that in here? Oh, it is. Nice. Yeah, you know what's funny is, we'll just go to it now. This looks like alts, does it not? Tell me I'm crazy, chat. Tell me I'm crazy. This is a bottom. This is an inverted head and shoulders variant. Looks great. Looks really, really good. The problem with this index is the oil component is dragging everything down, but gold, silver, platinum, palladium, all doing very, very well. Coin, can we do coin IBIT? Yeah, I kind of did a poll on Twitter. What was it, yesterday? Will WGMI, will the miners outperform coin here is the question. If you think it's alt season, coin should outperform. I don't know if that's the right trade, but if you think we're going to get an alt season, coin should do well. The chart favors coin over IBIT here, ish. You know, probably I'd probably set an alert like up here at 6. But having an idea of things to rotate into is a good thing to start looking at. Yeah, gold pumps first. Absolutely, Mateo. All right, I gotta keep adding these so we can get through them. REMX, rare earth, doing very, very well. Some more quantum stuff. QS, QuantumScape, BKSY, Black Sky, Peloton. Yeah, it's funny. I literally sold my Peloton yesterday for BTC, and it was up like 5% today, intraday. Oh well. That's such a cool thing to say. I sold my Bitcoin for uranium for Bitcoin. I did. It's true. DCR. Oh man, DCR. That's one I haven't heard of in a long time. Sure. I don't know what ALB is. TIA. Yeah. CIA dark money. Yeah. XPL Tether proxy blockchain for farming stables. Okay. Any thoughts on V bottom? Yeah, so MSOS. Where does this, so this is a cannabis ETF. I just kind of feel like, probably want this to consolidate a little bit because the pattern was there, the breakout was there. We talked it was probably you, Kieran, asking me about this in July. You know, the trade was there. I didn't take the trade. I know people that did. But up here, I don't know. You know, it kind of gives me the Rigetti vibes in that it's like, what do you do here now? Do you keep adding? One thing you could do is turn on fractals for anything. They give you levels based on higher highs and lower lows. When you're breaking higher highs, that's a good place to add based on the system. So for Rigetti, it was yesterday on the close. So for MSOS or anything else, we're getting close to a potential add, but that's one way to like normalize it. REMX is similar in that it did very, very well and continues to do well. It's been a little messy on the stop loss because it pulled me out here. Could have got back in on this day here. I just didn't. But it's also giving you another entry a couple days later there. So that's one way, at least on the daily, to normalize it. Because I know a lot of people just have trouble adding to something that's up. Right, this is up 120% since the low. Could still see 9,400 on this. Government's involved, U.S. government, and they're clearly making it a priority. Price cycle get to 0.94 instead of crossing. Yeah, no, I hear you. I definitely agree. I don't like the indicator personally, but if you're familiar with it, knowing stuff like that is very helpful. LTC, SNX, ton. BCI is the same as the bond complex. Yeah, no, I agree. If we go to ag, you know, this is the type of chart you want to see on an alt. Ag, this is the bond complex stuff across the duration curve or whatever. You're not going to see crazy returns on this, but it's the type of bottom you want to see for alts. Just absolute gross struggle range for, in this case, years. And you're coming in here when everybody else is like tired and dead, right? Like you're like, oh, what is this chart? Boom, right? That would be my read on that one. Calls on Peloton, you poor soul. TradFi Dash. DoorDash, okay. ALB. Oh, that's some energy. UEC, what is that? Oh, uranium, okay. Eigen is up here. Interesting that not getting a lot of crypto asks. More legacy asks, that's fine. Always interesting. Tilray, I mean, Tilray is an MSOS, right? Yeah. What do you do here? I don't know. Maybe a weekly breakout soon? Maybe higher highs? It looks fine to hold. Like, there's nothing to do there. All right, let's go through this list. ETH, briefly, we talked about, you know, you have to choose for you what mix of stuff you like. Some people like all ETH. That's fine. That's not me, but some people do. Some people like DATs and leverage on ETH. Fine. Some people like options on ETH A. Fine, right? I think the cleanest setup, breakout, etc., is on BTC right now. That's where my focus is. That's all. We did not get a move into the cloud here. Didn't even get a bearish TK cross on ETH A here. It looks fine. It looks good. I just like the setup better for BTC, and it may underperform ETH here. I don't know. But that's really all I have to say about ETH. Like, it looks fine. It looks fine. Sol also looks fine. It's it's just been kind of a noisy mess. It's been quite a choppy journey. Some people like Sol, right? Now, for me, the question isn't like ETH versus BTC or Sol versus BTC. It's Sol versus ETH. I think it favors Sol on the chart. We've got a inverted head and shoulders potentially here on the candlesticks through the cloud. If I had to guess, we're going to see some flows for Sol relative to ETH if we get ETFs, and I think that's going to be the difference maker. Only because ETH has already moved a lot, right? Like this was ETH moving as Sol was breaking down against ETH, and I think we could see Sol gain some ground against ETH. That's all. Now, if this ratio breaks down, if it breaks out of the cloud, then I'm wrong, and ETH is the play. So that's the stop loss on that idea. And let's go through the list. Let's see what we can see here. SNX, yeah, again, like the best time to start thinking about this stuff isn't back here. It's not over here. It's mostly back in here, right? Like, let this stuff chop around. You don't have to participate. This has been doing nothing the entire year. So I like it. Why not, right? Where does this go? A little bit higher. Risk reward is certainly better than ENA and Link, probably. But is it like the best setup today? I don't know. But yeah, looks fine. It's got DeFi narrative, stablecoin narrative, trading narrative, whatever, right? But this is the key. Finding this stuff back here and just waiting, thinking, waiting, right? Aptos, similar, just waiting. Zcash. The problem with trading Dino coins is you've got people who've been holding for years at a loss and are still at a loss at this level and are just waiting for break even. So it's tough to expect crazy continuation. To me, on the daily, it's like if you missed the move, you probably shouldn't have been paying attention to this anyway, but what else is there here? I don't know. I don't think this is getting an ETF. I don't think this is getting a DAT. Like, I could be very wrong about that. But as somebody who's in the ETF mix, generally not something that's in the conversation. We'll put it like that. So, look, I could be wrong, but not something worth paying attention to, in my opinion. Aster, where's this at? I gotta find a better chart. XC? No. Is this like just listed? Is that why? I don't know. I got nothing to say. I mean, I don't know, mate. I don't know, guys. Like, this is the Binance thing, right? Yeah. I have nothing to say. I have no idea. Plus or minus 100%. I don't know. Hourly looks fine. Next chart. I don't know. Daily Fartcoin. Have fun buying knives, holding knives. Have fun holding on to junk. I got nothing here. I got nothing. This is why you don't hold anything ever. If it looks like this, I don't care what it is, you do not hold it. I do not hold it. I've seen enough of this. I have lived through enough of that. Out. Thanks for playing. See you later. Have fun. Now you're a community member. Not for me. I don't care if it bottoms here. Doesn't matter. There's too much stuff that's working. MOG also. A lot of these charts, I don't want to say this to like give people hope, but a lot of these charts one day are just going to have like a 50% move or a 25% move. I wouldn't count on that, but we're getting to the time where you see that. You know, that's like end of cycle stuff. For most people, that move on that day is just going to be a break even type of move. I'm guessing, just because it's been a rough ride here for MOG. If we can get this, you know, inverted head and shoulders into November, love it as a setup. But it is not a today trade. It is a down the road trade. Whiff, same deal. We talked about it. I like higher highs on anything, right? Like it shouldn't be hard right now if you're really bullish to make a higher high. Wormhole we talked about. It looks great. I love it at any price. Beam, same deal. This is it. This is what you wait. 8 months, 12 months, 30 months. This could go nowhere, but charts that go somewhere start like this. This is how they look. They're above the cloud. They've consolidated. They were down only for God knows how long. Love it. Love it. You just take the depth. Say, okay, target is somewhere up here. And that's it, right? That's all we got. It shouldn't be harder than that. I got to write it down so I remember. But this is exactly the chart. Sizing, leverage, etc. When to rotate, that's all up to you. But this is the chart that breaks up. Not MOG, not whiff. Like those are going to take some time. Eigen. Yeah, it looks okay. Above the cloud, good sign. Above like a range, good sign. I don't hate it. I don't hate it. I don't love that it's been super choppy, but it does have this like ascending triangle quality to it. And yeah, I don't hate it. I don't hate it. If you sell some cold storage at 250, where would it be buying back? Whatever 60% drawdown from the all-time high is, that's a good level. The 200 week is also a good just equalizer. I don't know if we're going to see the same drawdown this time, to be fair, but that's where it would pull me back in. In a bear market, if you look at all the bear markets we've ever had, where we've had a 200-week moving average, we have hit that level. Have we exceeded it? Sure, but that is a great equalizer to say, okay, if this thing isn't dead completely, that's a good level. So that's currently at 50, 54. That's going to keep moving up, but that's the level. That's it. Doesn't get harder than that. SC. Oh boy. I kind of forgot this was a thing. See a coin. No, it's a little early on that one. You know, if it doesn't look like Beam, this is literally the gold standard. Like, this is it. This is it. Print this out, put it on your fridge. That's what you want to see. Deep. Nope. Already. Not enough data. Don't care. XPL. I don't really care. I hope it goes to 0. You'd want a wedge, falling wedge, or the cloud on a low time frame. Something. This is, what is this? I don't know. Nothing. You got nothing. A good example is something like BMNR on like the 30-minute cloud. This is always what you hope for. You hope for some sort of breakout to go somewhere. We have something that looks like it could go somewhere right now in BMNR, but that's what I would be looking for on Plasma for a trade. Why, right? What is this? This is nothing. Not yet. Now that could change in an hour, but right now, no. DCR. Oh boy. You know, as Dino coins go, let's go to a different exchange. So it's hard. It's not really... DCR kind of isn't listed many places anymore. KuCoin? No. Huobi? No. I guess Polo is... Oh, it's the Tether. Whatever. Yeah, I mean, today versus 2021 or 2022 or 2023 or 2024, today you definitely have a better shot than the previous 5 years or whatever. Is it anything I would throw $1 at? Not me personally, but I can see the justification. What is this? I can see the justification based on the chart. It's just why? Why? All right, legacy, IRN. IRN's kind of been locked out since the previous consolidation. So you're either just blindly dollar cost averaging, or you are waiting for fractals. You do have a fractal today. You had a fractal on September 3rd. But these were the three best places if you're going to trade this just in the future or on anything. Pattern at the bottom, cloud breakout, pattern consolidation. You know, back here, up at this point, it's like, I don't know, right? Like, cores to me has the potential. I don't think it's a better business. I don't have any idea on that realm, but if we're looking for setups, bullish on the cloud, bullish pattern, you know, maybe there's some catch-up trade here, some pity sympathy trade possible. Clean Spark is also another one that has potentially some juice in it. Maybe IREN slows down. Maybe people are looking for laggards, right? Like, that's all you can hope for at this point. You're kind of hoping for sloppy seconds on something that hasn't done well for whatever reason. So it's possible that this does well. Clean Spark, cores, possible. Black Sky, and what's Black Sky? I don't know what Black Sky is. Looks good, looks fine. Kind of moves slow, but looks okay. Now again, what does it have going for it? It literally died in 2021, kept dying for 2 more years, and has finally started to bottom. So it's some sort of inverted head and shoulders. Don't hate it. QuantumScape, same deal. Somebody, I forget who, had brought this up maybe last year. We've been talking about falling wedge stuff. A little late at this point, but yeah, you've got momentum on your side. Qubit, kind of the same deal, where it just exploded higher, and up here you've got that Rigetti fractal, right? It's cup and handle, cloud breakout, close to all-time highs, plenty of room. One that nobody asked me about was Pony. This is a good one too, because the target is just so stupid. Like if we're in the realm of stupid, why not? You know, I wouldn't throw my entire portfolio at something like that, but absolutely, sure. Netflix has all sorts of problems. It's still in a broader channel that it's been in for years, so it's not like dead, but it's got inverted Adam and Eve, it's got a head and shoulders, it's got a bearish cloud here. It's just not good. So I think Mag 7 broadly, probably not the place to focus your energy, just because all this stuff is done so well for years. So I just think you're better off doing other stuff. Metaplanet. What are we doing here, Metaplanet? It came all the way. Did it really give back? It did. It gave all the way back since May. You know, I don't love it from a cloud perspective. You're always better off trading breakouts versus like whatever the hell this is down here. You could watch this on lower time frames, probably. The thing is, just like with meme coins, like this stuff is so momentum driven. If it's really bullish, I mean really bullish, like MSTR, it should have no problem breaking 760. But the question is, do you want to sit in this until it does, right? Or would you rather just wait? I think this probably needs a little more time, so I don't love it here. MSTR, same deal on the daily. I just don't care until it's above the cloud. And we may get some MSTR move in November, December, like alts. I don't know, but I think you're better off. I mean, I know you're better off trading options because I am, and I'm killing it, right? Versus MSTR, which has barely moved. So, personal preference, but not for me. All right, UEC. Yeah, this is basically like the URA trade. It kind of is almost at its target. If we think of this as like a broadening wedge or something, all of the uranium stuff kind of had this going for it. I don't like the risk reward up here, that's all. Because it's already done very, very well for a fresh position. And one of the main reasons I closed my uranium is because it hit the measured move. So like I'm happy with that, right? Like I don't need to say, man, is this going to outperform BTC here? Like in a trading portfolio, I just like take the trade, take the win, right? That's that. Albemarle. Definitely looking interesting here out of the channel above the cloud. I don't hate it. Definitely looks better than a lot of stuff. Now, am I going to buy any? No, because it doesn't have enough juice right now, you know? But if you're worried about hedging something, right? Like maybe you hedge energy against crypto or quantum because they're probably not going to move in the same direction. You know, I don't know, right? One way to think about it. Dash as in DoorDash. Yikes, that thing. What a move. I don't know what you do with it up here, but it does have a bullish T-cake recross, right? It's like the Netflix case. And this is way more bullish than Netflix at the top here, but I don't know. It doesn't look bad. Doesn't look bad. I'll give you that. Cores we talked about. JD broke out of a falling wedge. This is a Chinese stonk ADR. Yeah, I don't hate it. I'm sitting in CQQQ currently. Which, again, you know, I'm a simple man. I know shapes. I know shapes, right? So when I see this for years, it's always the same, right? Is this beam? Is this CQQQ? Is it whatever else? That's the only reason. Just looks good on technicals. I was holding this and KWeb. I let KWeb go, even though it was still doing fine, but CQQQ was doing better, so that's why. Holding one or over the other. Oh yeah. You, Jack's favorite. Take the high, take the low. Decent risk reward still from here. Personal preference. I don't know. I got nothing to say. It's just like you're up, if like fresh position, almost up 200%. Doesn't make a lot of sense for me up here. WDC, crazy. Right, like if you're like staring at Mog Whiff and again back to this guy, this poor guy, just dragging him on the stream, right? Like this is what you're hoping for. This broke out at 45 and it's at 132. Wild. Absolutely wild. I don't know what you do with this. Just wait for the fractals, I guess, but I wouldn't buy it up here. That's just me. STX, same thing. SNDK, looked at, same thing. Peloton. Peloton's certainly a long-term idea. Similar to alts, right? Like, do you want to trade stuff that's working and moving and has momentum, or do you want to sit in this for a little while and hope it does well? Do you want to rotate into this later? Personal preference. Rivian, same deal. You don't want this making a lower low. So I'm talking to myself here. But we will move up this alert if I can grab it. If we make a lower low, I am out of Rivian. I'm not here for that. But that support should hold. If it doesn't, yikes. Yikes. Yeah, Coin BTC looks good. MSTR BTC does not to me. Wolf looks fine. Yeah, Wolf, Cypher, Bitfarms. You know, it's like, have you been holding this stuff? Do you want a DCA? What's your risk reward from here? I'm still holding half-ish of the position from down here on Bitfarms. It's just like, would you trade this here now? I don't think so. I don't think you open a fresh position. But, you know, I could be wrong. Maybe this consolidates and goes again. I don't know. Yikes, you. All right, we got to get to Nwanda's list here. He gave me $100, chat. We cannot not get to his list before we get out of here. MSTR BTC. Yeah, I mean, what do you expect, right? Like, if this is something else to watch. Set alerts for November, December. It doesn't make sense to me here. It just doesn't make sense. Why are you trading this over even BITU, right? Let's do it against BITU. It looks worse. You know, it's making new multi-month lows against BITU, which is 2x BTC. So, yeah, CleanSpark looks good. Hive looks good. Did I skip Upexi or did I just not add it? Oh, that was no one. All right, let's get to his thing, then we'll get out of here. You can throw a bunch of tickers in the chat. I'll go through it after the stream and pull them out for Monday. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for being here. D-Pro took off. Whoever, it's probably you on Twitter. Somebody was talking about it. Great edge to edge on that one. All right, here's where the alpha starts and ends. Look at this Chad. He gives me a list, all green. You can't see it because my head's in the way, but literally all green. Wild. UAVS. I'm guessing this is some sort of drone thing, but huge inverted head and shoulders. Looks really good. Looks real good. Especially because it literally has died since 2021. Very interesting. ETCMI. Kind of a weird diamond thing. I can see what he's looking at with the breakout. There's a little bit of a Adam and Eve here. I don't hate it. I've seen worse. It's just tough when you can tell it's so illiquid that there's like no volume here. That's tough. ARQQ, this is making new all-time highs. This had a cup and handle. Oop. The quantum stuff, like it could go to 114,200, but where people are going to really screw themselves are they're just going to think everything's going to go to 10,000 and they're just going to keep doubling down. Now's the time to probably take a chance on it. I would just be careful adding. If it doesn't break out, or even if it goes up there. SMTK, okay. I see what he's seeing with the breakout there. Yeah, I mean, look, I don't hate it. You're not gonna have to twist my arm on this one. Anything that looks like that. Datadog, this is it's kind of stuck in the range. It's bullish. Kind of has a mini head and shoulders. Nice little breakout. I don't hate it. Editas medicine. Okay. You know, he knows what I like. So all of these are going to be just great looking charts because You got a W, you got a cup and handle, you're above the cloud. It's tough because I know some of those are liquid nonsense, but you know, you do you. Upexi, this one's rough, just massive range. I think I like, is Upexi Sol or B? It's Sol, right? I can't remember. SBET looks okay. I don't know, it's just tough. It's just tough because in the back of my mind, all these breakout trades are working so well that if you have to think about it, it's just like, nope, you know. Next chart. Nucleus. Yeah. Dead for a while. Some W stuff. More biotech. Seems to be a theme. Quantum and biotech. Here you go. QMCO. That'll get my antennas up. Literally above the cloud today for the first time in a year. Sure. B-Fly. Same deal. Butterfly. Great looking inverted head and shoulders there. Is this... I don't know if that's drones or if that's something else, but... Alright, that was his list. We'll get out of here. Thanks for hanging out. Great list. Agreed. Nwanda, again, bringing the heat. Palladium looks good, absolutely. Plug. Yeah, what is the EV real quick? Plug. Oh, there you go. Yeah, see, you know, you just have to watch it, set alerts, be patient, and your day will come. Plug's day was over the past week, apparently. 30% today. 30%. Polestar, less good. Lucid, less good. Neo has done really well. QuantumScape we looked at. EH, kinda trying. I like it better at highs, but it doesn't look terrible. Mobileye, nah. XPEV, okay. Higher highs, I like it. I hope this is popping up on stream. It's got that similar, like, you know, cup and handle W thing going on. Lyft looks great. Don't really see many people talking about this one. Again, multi-year bottom, breaking out, looks good. Uber probably at all-time highs. I like Lyft over Uber here just based on risk reward. Tesla, really nothing to say. I'm out of my position. Sold it for BTC 2 days ago? Monday? Whatever Monday was. I was happy with the target. I was happy that it got to where you expected it to go. You know, this is why I don't overstay my welcome on these trades that I map out like this. So, anyway. Lucid, I was just saying that not quite ready, but no matter what it is, anytime you have something that has been down only for years and finally makes a higher high, you can see I have an alert set for this diag here. Like then I like it, right? But not a moment before. It's got to get above the cloud, get above some diags. I don't need to be a hero and hope that it's the low. I can wait till we get some momentum. But seeing this is encouraging. It's encouraging for sure. All right, that's all I got for this one. Thanks for hanging out. Take care.